Hi everyone, Om Shanti. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Were those thoughts amazing or what? I kept reading them. Now that's one of the segments of today's program that I will suggest that you keep playing back and play it back slowly so that you can digest it. Anyway, how is everyone doing? It's so good to see all of you, and hopefully Santosh can put you all up on the screen so I can see each and every one of you on the side screen. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Let me get a wave or something. Everyone's okay? Everyone's okay? No one's okay? Who's that? Everything's okay? Okay, all right. So good. Isn't it great? Are you getting ready to come out of lockdown, or are you kind of liking lockdown? How many of you are actually enjoying your lockdown? Hands up. How many of you no, that's enough. I got to get out. How many? It's been an interesting experience, hasn't it? I'm sure you've been learning a lot about yourself, and if you're living with people in the same place, you must be learning a lot about yourself. Not even learning as much about them, but learning about you. Isn't that what it really is about? Anyway, I'm trusting that majority of you have been to the Meditation Museum, correct? Hands up. How many of you have been to the Meditation Museum? Please tell me you're missing us. Well, all I know is that we're definitely missing you. We're so community oriented and so social oriented that we've been doing the evening programs called the Spiritual Vaccines on YouTube and Facebook at 6:30 to 7:30. Have you all been tuning into that too? Yes? Yeah. So when we closed down on March 16th. And as you can see, it's been over a month so far. And for those who have been studying with the museum, which is run by the Brahma Kumaris, we have everyday morning sessions starting at 4 o'clock in the morning. I know a lot of you love that. And then the morning teaching class at 6:15 in the morning. And so from that time, we would start our day off. And then in between the days, different activities or meetings and so on. But then in the evening, I would look so forward to sharing, because it was really for me to be available for all of you in whatever way or capacity was needed. I just wanted to be available, in whatever way. And then we got a few friends who would call in and would join in and be a part of the process. And we've had from Marianne Williamson, Lou Gossett, to just a whole variety of beautiful people who've come in to our evening sessions for our spiritual vaccines and have offered words of advice and wisdom to really help us to navigate through these particular times. But I just really would love to hold a moment of a pause with each and every one of you, just to have us settle. I know we started with the Om mantra, which was very sweet. And we started with the quotations, which came from Marianne's book, A Return to Love, which again, it's something you really want to keep repeating over and over again in your head because it's so powerful. So let us just hold a minute of reflection and silent love for the person in the next Zoom space, whether it's the person to your left, to your right, above you, below you, across from you. Just take a moment of pause. Breathe in, exhale. Allow yourself to settle into your space and just be for a while. No need to be rushing anywhere. It's just your time to tune in for your self-care. Just to be present. Allow all those vibrations that are coming from your thoughts to just fall to the floor. Especially those thoughts that are waste and has no purpose. Let them fall to the floor and melt away into the ground. It's always great to start anything auspicious with silence. And it's even more beautiful to plant seeds that will move us towards our natural state of being happy. And I think it's so important for us to distinguish between the difference of happiness and joy, because joy is more from a soul level, where whether things are working out for you or not, you're okay. But then happiness is like the icing on the cake. You know, that's when the joy level is there, the joy factor is there, and everything is working beautifully according to the universe. Imagine if one star in the universe is out of track, how it will affect the whole universe. If one energy is just not playing the role it's supposed to, the whole thing starts to collapse. And in a way, I think our lockdown, which I call our rise up, or our time of exile, is actually because so many of us, I'm included, but so many of us weren't in sync with our truth. So many of us weren't really fully, completely in our spirit of joy. We were looking at things that were so external and so material to define our joy. And as a result, we forgot the original innate joy that's in the soul. And so this time of solitude, this time of being with family, this time of questioning things, is a time for us to really come out of this a better version. And if you've been like me, connecting with so many groups and so many people, and I have to say I became a little, what's the word, facetious, when a few of my friends who were illuminaries and individuals out there in the public with large platforms, we had these talks behind the scenes, and quite a few of us says we were telling everyone to meditate and to, you know, to get with the program and not to keep feeding your thoughts in this old system, in this old paradigm. And now that the old paradigm is not able to really sustain itself, everyone now has to turn inwards. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that you have no choice but to be in your own company? And so it was fascinating. If you've been keeping up with a lot of the online virtual events, they were hundreds of prayer programs, meditation programs, cohesion programs, programs that were just praying and helping the humanity to become a better place, which means innately you and I both know prayer, meditation, being incorporated and a foundation to our lives is our lifesaver. And it's our joy factor. And when we've got that, happiness is going to be unlimited. Now, what I'd like you to do, just for a moment, is to take a minute or so and answer this question for me in your mind or on a piece of paper. Are you ready? Is everyone ready? All right. Write down on a piece of paper or on your notebook or on your cell phone. What does unlimited happiness look like to you? That's number one. So on one sheet of the paper, this is what unlimited happiness looks like to me. Then on the other side, or on the other column part of the same paper, what will it feel like for me? I'll give you a minute or two. What does unlimited happiness look like to me? Take your time, no rush. It's Zoom. We can stay on as long as we want, and you can go off whenever you want to. And what will unlimited happiness feel like for me? It's a great question. What does unlimited happiness look like? Give it some deep thought. And what does unlimited happiness, what will unlimited happiness feel like? And as you're writing it down, I'd like you to savor it. Just be really intentional. Just be real intentional, no rush. Figure it out for you. Just figure it out for you. Observe how your physical system is feeling. Observe even how your brain maybe feels like it's getting tested to expand, but it's really the soul in the brain that's expanding and it's beginning to see your life, see you from a very truthful lens. What will my unlimited happiness look like? And what will it feel like? Let that open up and blossom in you. It's quite an important question to ask oneself because we keep pursuing this idea of happiness, and what we are pursuing, sometimes we miss the energy needed to acquire it, but also to sustain it. So sometimes we acquire things and we get it pretty quickly, but then we also lose it almost as quickly. Example, a job, maybe for a year, money, maybe for a week, a partner, maybe for 6 months. It seems like it comes quickly because we were pursuing, looking for the perfect partner, and then before we know it, within a year, it's over. Right? So, is my understanding of happiness wrong, or do I just not know what it means to be a happy person? And I want you to keep remembering the fundamental factor of a spirit of joy. That it's my joyful spirit that will guide me in making decisions that will make me happy. It's my joyful spirit that will guide me to make decisions and choices that will increase my happiness. Let's say it that way, right? That's why we love to socialize. That's why we love to watch certain movies that give us some sort of a pleasure. That's why we love to dress appropriately, where it gives us a joy in how we look. That's why we always feel happier when we take a shower after we've been out all day or just filthy. When you eat a great meal, you feel happy. When you hear a beautiful song, you feel happy. Because maybe the spirit was also somewhere near there. You know, the joy of your spirit was somewhere in that particular zone, right? So I'd like to maybe turn to a few of you to share with me maybe some of your thoughts of happiness that you've written down, or maybe you could just raise your hand up and then Santosh will unmute you and then have you share with us and say your warm hello. Anyone would like to share? Betty, nice to have you. Hi Betty, Om Shanti.
Namaste, Jenna. Shanti.
So good to see you. What did you feel when you were looking at what unlimited happiness will look like for you, and what was the feeling?
Um, Unlimited happiness for me looks like being in alignment with who I am, also connecting with like minded people, and that feels very peaceful, relaxing. I feel energized.
Yeah. They always say, you know, the saying that there's no greater nourishment than the nourishment of happiness. You've heard of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's always great. Thank you so much for sharing. Anyone else would like to share something tonight? Thanks, Betty.
You're welcome.
Anyone else has a hand up would like to share? There's one person, Santosh, with the hands up here. Hi, who's this?
Zenith.
Hi, Zenith. Welcome.
Very from Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
When I see uh, flowers and new leaves and everything,
So when you think about unlimited happiness, you see nature, flowers, new leaves, the garden. Isn't that what we're seeing? It's so the weather is amazing. Yes, very true. And how does it feel for you?
I want to sing and dance.
That's true, exactly. It's icing on the cake, I call it. I really call it icing on the cake. Anybody else wants to share anything about this little simple exercise? And your name?
Can she unmute herself?
Could you?
Okay. Toloria.
Hi, Tolaria.
Hi, Sister Jenna.
So good to see you.
And you too. It's been a while. I've gone to the Meditation Museum a few times, recommended by surprisingly, not surprisingly, my yoga instructor, and I found it to be so wonderful.
Oh, good.
And so I'm glad that you're having these sessions. So when I thought about the question, the first thing I thought about with all these people that I don't know, but hopefully we're like minded, being vulnerable to answer the question. And others may be feeling that. So, what I thought of was happiness to me would be being able to do what I want
Me too.
for myself and others without fear or guilt or shame or um, any of those negative feelings that we worry about and those things that hold us back, like talking right now. um, and I think what it would feel like to me would be joy to just get rid of all of those negative feelings and just do.
Beautiful.
Yeah, 3 more,
That was
David.
perfect. Perfect. Have you found that the happiness gets affected by? I was listening to one of my friends sharing from the UK, and he gave a wonderful meditation on negative self talk. And have you thought that the crux, like what breaks the energy of our happiness, is maybe a negative self talking, and it's not just an outside situation. The outside situation can occur, definitely, we don't like it. But then what transpires between the outside and the in? It's an interesting process because some people look at things from a different point of view because of perception. They can see the darkest of events as, a wonderful opportunity and beneficial. And then some people can be in the best opportunity and see the worst in it, right? So it really is that self-talk, right? That's what's really robbing you and me from any form of happiness. Would you say so?
Right. And I find that, we, unfortunately, a lot of times we grow up in a culture that teaches us negativity and self hate from the things that we see and we hear. And
Yeah,
we end up incorporating that into our own minds and playing it back in a negative way. And we have to find ways to have positive influences to counter that so that when we bring up those negative thoughts in our own minds, like I wasn't going to raise my hand, we say, no, it's okay. You can do it. You will be all right. And you have to not worry about what other people may think in order
excellent.
to make yourself happy and do those things that you want to for others.
And are you feeling a little bit happier now?
I'm much happier that I raised my hand and I said it. And I
Tina.
will share one thing with you, then I'll get off. Is I had a fear when I met you, okay, the first time. I've only seen you about 2 or 3 times. That I don't know what it was. But anyway, I'm the one who showed you how to do this.
The oh, and you know what? I know how to do it now.
So
I remembered.
I said at the end of the session, I'm going to take a chance, and all these people are going to be around her, but I'll just go and go.
I so
And
remembered.
we had a moment. So I got over that fear so that we could just do that.
Isn't that something?
It's
Thank
the
you so
little
much.
things like we talked about yesterday that make
Yeah,
a difference.
indeed, indeed. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. That really made my night. Anybody else would like to share anything?
Tina.
Okay, hi Tina, welcome. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister. Om Shanti.
Hi, how are you both doing? Well?
Good?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
am.
good, good. Yeah, yeah, sure. Tell me what's on your mind.
Yeah. So for me, it's just peace. So like, the chat, when I say peace, I mean like the chatter in the mind, stopping those waste thoughts and that unnecessary conversation that used to just go on.
Yes, yeah,
So I like that. That makes me happy.
yes,
And so then the second part of the question, then it is serenity that
yes.
comes from having stopped that chatter.
Excellent. Excellent. Again, it goes back to what I was sharing earlier. We have this pattern of thinking very negatively
Yeah.
about ourselves or about each other or about an expectation of what we want. And that just hits your happiness bar, it just brings it right down. Like when Wi Fi goes out, all the bars gradually go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. So like even with work, I started a new job. So they were like, you have to answer this question. What are you looking forward to being able to go do when this is all over? What is it that you really want? And I thought about it all weekend. And I was like, absolutely nothing. I'm content. I'm fine. And they
Good.
all looked at me like, you're kind of strange, but I am. And I
Happy
have that
people are
same,
strange.
that's what I
Never.
tell her. I'm like, well, who defines normal? And we talk about this every day. And every day I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm
Wow.
content.
Yeah.
And they're giving me like gift cards and they're like, thank you for being like at the front line, go buy yourself something. I can't think of a single thing I want to buy because I'm satisfied with what I have. And I'm like, I browse things and I'm like, I don't even want to browse. I'm fine. I don't want it. I'm just good.
Oh,
So
I want to jump in here because everyone who's on, and also YouTube and Facebook, thank you so much for joining us too. I know that we're planning to do Thursday Zooms, and we're going to try to see how long we will continue with this format. As you know, the ashram has been created into a little mini studio, so it's been an interesting scene. But I wanted to jump in here, Tina, as you were sharing, because so many of us have spent a lot of our money that we work hard for every day, 9 to 5. We have consciously bought into a system of thinking that when I own a particular brand, and I'm not trying to create anything negative, I'm just trying to have us look at ourselves as a result of this particular period to see if when we come out of this, we can increase our happiness at an even more evolved level. But before this, we were buying shoes. Yes, definitely when they're on sale at the stop shops and there's something, you don't want to miss those. But shoes, dresses, bags, name brand, things that would be worth $200, $300, $400. And we would acquire them, but were we really happy or were we showing?
yeah.
And I had a session with a wonderful group from Turkey, and it was a group of individuals who are all, monetarily secure. And so I asked all these ladies, I don't know that does your Hermès mean anything to you now? Does your Rolex watch have a lot of value for you anymore? Who are you showing your Prada sunglasses to now? Or your Cartier perfume? Who's smelling you? You're in the house all day in your pajamas anyway, right? And it's been for a long time, and I'm kind of inviting you just to help us to be so less conditioned by a society that wants to sort of feed us an illusion, which still doesn't feed the real joy and the happiness that we can be. Haven't you found moments at home where you were just happy to be not running here, not running there?
Yes.
And I think that's what I would like to sort of introduce us in our breakout session that we're going to go into right now. Is that what I'd like you to do is as you pair up with a few folks in this particular intimate Zoom space, and I don't even want to call it the Zoom space, I want you to imagine you're in the meditation museum and you're just pairing up with, another wonderful visitor in the space who has entered into this room with you because they believe they're better, that they can be better, and that they believe in the power of humanity's ability to evolve and to be more positive minded, but yet not to be, fluffy. As you all have seen us over the years, we might, speak a lot about love and peace and harmony, but I don't think you've ever met anyone at the museum, for the exception of Sister Gita, who is like a little fairy, running around the place. Love, peace, and happiness, man. We believe in love, peace, and happiness as fundamental powers of the character of the Spirit, which guides us in our decisions, in our careers, in our relationships, in the way we make money, spend money, and how we take care of our health. So one of the things I'd like you all to break out in, and maybe you can mute Tina, Santosh. What we would like to do in this breakout room as we get to know each other from a place of happiness, may I invite you that the moment you get your partners in the breakout room, the first thing I'd like you to practice is to just see the person. And this is why we would want everyone to be on video. When a person is not on video, then it becomes uncomfortable if you're in a room and then you don't know who you're talking to. But I respect if you don't feel that you look presentable. I had to be on a meeting call today, and I didn't know I had to be on a Zoom call at 11. So I just texted them and go, look, I've just decided to lay down. I had no idea I had a meeting today. I just don't really want to be on camera. So I get it if you really, really can't be on camera, but I really love if you could just to put your video in and, you know, just join the crowd. I don't think anyone's going to care if your makeup is upside down or your hair is in bobs, but just to give you an FYI. So in the breakout room, I'd like you to practice holding just 5 seconds first of just seeing the soul. Just to connect to the soul first with peace. And then introduce your name and your connection to the meditation museum. You can share if maybe you've never been there, but you found this. You know, how did you come into this vortex? How did you find this? And then the question that I'd really like you to explore, what I really would like you to explore, is what steps are you planning to take to increase your happiness with whatever days are left before we are out of the stay-at-home order. Does that make sense? So what steps have you been really thinking that you wish to now make for you to really increase a deeper sense of contentment and happiness for you, that when the stay-at-home order is released, you're going to come out of your homes with the awareness that this is the new version of me. This is the new me. I've had a month or two to work on me, and I don't want to go back to the old me. Is that a good enough question? Is that okay? Hands up, is that okay? Got it? All right. So we're going to give about 6 minutes. I think it should be 6 minutes or so in the breakout room. I think how many will be in the breakout room? Up 3? Maybe 3? Maybe about 3 per? Marie?
We have about 4 to 5, sister.
4 to 5. Okay, so let's make it 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. So remember, when you first go into your breakout room, if you happen to get someone whose video is off, it's okay. Send them your pure wishes. At least they can see you. Send them your pure wishes through your eyes just for 3 seconds before you say your name, introduce, you know, what's your connection with the meditation museum, how has it been? And then to go into the second question, what am I planning? What steps am I planning to take to increase my level of contentment and happiness when my stay-at-home order is released? And please be mindful that if there's 4 or 5 of you in the group, some of you are really eloquent speakers. I'd like you to just be mindful of others who might want to have a chance. And maybe you might find that someone is a little bit shy. Feel free to initiate them to also share. Enjoy meeting each other, and I'll see you back in just a few minutes.
Just 1 minute. We're going to be opening the rooms.
I guess we got our breakout room together. Isn't this fantastic? All right, I think that there are some that are also watching it. Maybe Santosh can put it up on the side. Om Shanti. So we'll take our minute of loving gaze for a few seconds. And please tell me, give me your name and tell me what's your connection with the Meditation Museum? How did you get connected? Kathy? Is that Kathy? You want to share first? Could you unmute yourself for me? Hi. Yes, hi. So nice to see you.
Hello, everyone. It's been a while since I've been at the Meditation Museum. I went to some of your talks, sister, and also some other talks on meditation, and brought some friends along into there. So I haven't been there in quite a while, but it's good to reconnect with you.
Oh, yeah, same here. And you've been okay? If everything has been all right at home?
Yeah, I'm isolated, so it's hard.
Okay.
So I'm not with my family.
Okay, I got you. I understand. Have you been keeping up with some nice programming like this and calling people?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm on a daily meditation with Panesh Desai.
Oh, yes, my good buddy. It's a good friend of mine.
I figured you probably knew him. And that's been very helpful. And, you know, our friends have Zoom calls and with my grandchildren. And but it's also, you know, sometimes feel almost like a technology overload because of this.
Oh, yes.
I mean, at first, I don't know if you all felt that, but at first it was like, okay, we're all just staying home in our pajamas and watching TV and having a good time. And then it seemed like a media onslaught, Zoom for this and Zoom for that. And
Zoom burnout.
And it's all good, but it's a little overwhelming too.
I agree. Well, thanks for sharing, Kathy. Jennifer, want to say hi? Om Shanti. Hi, Jennifer. Can you unmute your thing? Can you unmute? There you go. Thank you for joining in on the YouTube. We've been watching you and I've been hearing from you. You're so sweet.
Thank you. My connection to the museum, I was invited by Samantha, who is my sister-in-law. And she invited me, so I was there a few times. I met you one time, which was nice meeting you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you're so peaceful. Well, when you meet you, you're so peaceful, and it's amazing.
You can be peaceful too. Well, I'm glad that the museum was a nice space for you to hang out at.
And I haven't been in a while, but I can't wait for you to reopen.
Yeah, none of us have been there for a while. It's been quite sad. Yeah, but it's okay. We're going to manage. Yeah.
Yes.
Ruth Lisa, do you want to join in and say hello, or would you like to pass?
Sure. I would love to. Hi, Sister Jenna. How are you this evening?
Very good, very good. Glad that you could join us today.
Yes,
I'm glad to have you in my breakout room.
Yeah. It's a pleasure. Thank you. I stumbled upon your Twitter and I've been watching your YouTube, and I think you're a very inspirational person. It's a pleasure to meet you here. Wow, I'm a little starstruck.
That's wonderful, Ruth Lisa. I'm so glad that Twitter is actually doing positive service.
I've never been, but I've always wanted to. So
Good.
that would be a goal of mine.
Well, lots of blessings to you. So you're welcome, darling. So the question for me today, and I'll tell you what I've been doing, everyone. I've been wanting to really touch a deeper part within my being, in which God's divinity can work more through me. And as Kathy was saying, you know, we've been in so many Zoom meetings that it's been incredible. But because we're such a large organization, there are 9,000 branches, also in 120 countries, and we have 1 million students to take care of, right, globally. So you can only imagine the demands and the things that are required. Yes, could you mute Ruth Lisa for me and Santosh? So then when you think about all the amount of work that goes on, right? So I've been just wanting to sometimes be so still, everyone, for days, where I can just really touch the essence of the soul and remember and experience the essence of the purity of the soul. So when I get moments that I can do that throughout the day, today was a good day. So each time you go in, you know, you're unearthing more stuff. But I'm so faithful that when everything opens up, there'll be more silence that I'll bring into my actions. There'll be more strength that I'll bring in my actions. So wanted to share that with you. Anyone else? Kathy, Jennifer, what have you been working on with all this time on your hands?
Well, I've been trying to make a few masks here and there, and to give out to others, and I'm trying to really work on my relationship with God,
Yeah.
to try and have a deeper relationship, and trying to learn how to meditate. I registered for the class on Saturday,
Okay.
but sometimes I have a problem with my thoughts are just going, just too much noise up here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to address that today then.
1 minute, yeah.
Anyone else, Kathy? And then we have one more minute till it goes down. Go ahead, Kathy.
I know that this is a good time for growth for all of us,
Mm-hmm.
and to really go inside, and I'm really praying and hoping that, I come out of this with some other sense of purpose than what I've been doing, and something new. And just trying to be patient with it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Patience is a good virtue. It's the mother of all virtues. Well, it's been really sweet to reconnect with all of you. And Ruth Lisa, it's so nice to meet you for the first time. Welcome to the world of the Meditation Museum. Amazing personalities, and hopefully you'll be keeping in touch with us more and more along the way. All right, so we're going to go back to our main room. Take care. I'll see you guys soon, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so welcome back, everyone.
Slowly they're coming.
Okay, so everyone's coming back in slowly. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your Zoom mate. Back in the days, we used to have pen pals and all of that. Now we have Zoom pals. Yeah, I think everyone's coming back slowly. What I'd like to do is maybe have a few of you give me some feedback on your group and what you took from the sharings with one another. I would love to hear it, and I would love for everyone as well to hear and feel the energy of what you took from your breakout session. Who goes first? Hands up. Marie Flo, there's a hand up.
No, but yes, Oscar. Oscar raised his hand.
Hello,
And
Oscar.
to unmute you, you can go ahead.
How you doing, Oscar? Nice to see you, my brother.
I'm doing well. Nice to see you too.
Same here.
I what I got was the common ground was giving back, giving of yourself. I'm a personal trainer. I'm in the fitness field, and working with my clients virtually has been good. I'm grateful that I'm still able to do that and give back and pour into their lives. But I'm looking forward to getting back out there and giving more to the world. Because as we see here, this is something that we've never seen before. I've never seen it in my lifetime. And I think that isolation just makes you realize how important it is to connect and commune with others.
Yeah.
Not being able to extend your hand to a friend, or not being able to go out and party, or go out and have fun. I think giving of yourself is something that is important. So I'm looking forward to that once we get back to normal.
That's gorgeous, Oscar. So do you do the training online, or are you still doing training physically and just keeping the distance?
Online and Zoom and FaceTime right now.
Wow. It's amazing that even our communication has been, I call it virtual. I think we're getting to a higher telepathic level, and there'll even come a point we won't even need all these Zoom, 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 Skype, Skype, Skype. Thanks a lot, Oscar. That was fantastic. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Nobody raised their hands. You can go on the participants and you can
Okay,
click
John
raise your
is-
hand and
John
to raise your
is-
electronic hand. Otherwise, there was a comment from Davina saying it was nice to share with you in the breakout sessions.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Samantha raised her hand. Samantha, let me unmute you.
But Marie Flor, some are raising their physical
Yeah,
hands, so look
okay,
out for
those
that
I
too.
cannot see from the
Oh,
screen.
okay.
That's why, yeah, but Samantha raised her electronic hand. Go ahead, Samantha, I unmuted you.
Hi, Samantha.
Okay, otherwise, if not,
It's
we
coming.
have.
She's
I was
on
gonna
now.
say,
Samantha is on.
we talked about everyone shared a sentiment of enjoying the calm and the peace, and David shared something that stuck with him, and I think it's so true. It's that never let go of love. Imagine how much that will increase your happiness.
Interesting. Very profound, huh?
Mhm.
And I think there's somebody there. Is it Bimla or Bharti?
Yes,
Is it Bimla?
we have 4 hands raised,
Okay,
sister.
good, good.
Yeah, so the first electronic hand is Tina Fontaine. Tina, I'm going to unmute you. Okay, go.
So what we discussed and what I would say we mainly all were talking about would be things that have like life's been put in perspective, what we're grateful for, what we take for granted. So appreciation and what's really important in life is just all been put in perspective really.
Beautiful, Tina. Thank you. Thanks, Nikki. Anyone else?
Yes, Bimla, I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead.
Yes, sisters, for last 2 months, I've been, locked down, and I've been doing a lot of introspection and soul searching. And I come to know that the getting body attached with the body or physical or Maya doesn't get you anywhere. So I'm doing a lot of soul searching, soul conscious. So when I get out, I want to give back to the world. The world has given me so far. And I want to give everyone who comes in my life unconditional love, help, support, and because ultimately this body is going to perish. I think the soul, which stays forever, that is what is more valuable than the wealth or anything.
Beautiful.
So I'm very happy to be part of Brahma Kumari.
Thank you, Bimala. We're happy to have you. It's funny, everyone. Today there was a very profound statement that came out of our morning session, and I might not remember it completely clearly, but it was, why is it that when they cut into a body, let's say when you're donating an organ, for someone, the person doesn't feel as you're cutting into the body for the organ. And in Indian culture, they tend to cremate the body. So why is it that you don't see the body getting up and screaming, "Don't burn me, don't burn me"? And it's because the soul is no longer in the body. So when we meditate and when we contemplate and when we make choices and when we look at happiness, we've got to look at what the soul is doing. What is the quality of the soul? What is the intention behind the choice or the thought that the soul is making? Because what I've come to learn is you and I are the same in terms of the original nature of you and I is that we are love and we are peace. And when we create thoughts that go against the original love and peace, it strips the happiness, which is energy of the soul. And if we've been doing that for a very, very long time, then we stop even recognizing that there is a different kind of happiness that is fed with the joy of the spirit. And then we start to replace that with material happiness, with human beings, with what Bimla was saying, the body conscious form of defining happiness. So now that the whole world says, look, I don't care about your car, I don't care about your house, I don't care about the dresses that you make, the jewelry that you own, it doesn't matter because no one's going to see it anyway. We've all been returning now to the soul. And to what extent have I been serving the soul at a deeper level? And that's what I've really appreciated about this particular period of the lockdown. So thanks for triggering that in me. Anyone else? Hands up?
Yes, Betty,
Hi,
I'm
Betty.
going to unmute you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Basically, in our group, it was the premise was about inner peace. For me, is to take care of my mind. Really pay attention to my thoughts and shifting them in a more positive direction.
Yeah. How's that been going so far, Betty?
Good.
Good girl.
Practice, practice, practice.
Very
Going
good.
very well. Yes.
Very good. Congratulations. Thanks for
Thank
sharing.
you.
Anyone else wants to share what they took out of their breakout room?
Yes, John V is the last one who raised her hand. I'm going to unmute you.
Hi, John V.
I'm Chanti.
Go ahead.
So I think what came out of our group was that, you know, people shared how they are basically missing hugging people because, you know, they're very outgoing and everything, but also moving away from a lot of the materialistic things as we've been sharing in our sessions, and also how it's making you think about, you know, what it really means, right? What life really means for me, and what am I really doing here? So a lot of introspection in that sense. And also for me, it's given me a chance to really, you know, connect with a lot of my friends, right? Friends that I haven't connected in a very, very long time, you know. And so it's been really great in that sense. And I'm looking forward to, you know, doing a lot more of that when I come out of that, because, you know, that would really mean, you know, also physically connecting with them and seeing them, you know, face to face and meeting with them, but also using a lot of the technology and, you know, bless those souls, you know, for giving us that opportunity, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But spending a lot of the time right now, you know, doing that internal soul searching, working on myself and seeing, you know, like really saying what dirt is still in there, right? That needs to come out, and, you know, really taking the time, because this is the time for us.
Indeed.
And doing that. And, you know, someone was sharing how they're reminiscing all the time that they have been, you know, spending at the meditation museum and their journey from one state to another and all of that. So it was a really good time, and, you know, look forward to, you know, hopefully meeting at the meditation museum soon once this is over.
Thank you. We're looking forward to seeing all of you, John V, for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Any last minute sharings before we move on? No? That's it? Thanks so much for sharing, because I feel that this time is definitely a gift. I hope no one has lost their jobs, and I want you to not worry if you have. There are a lot of different things that are out there to support it. If you happen to have lost your job, I'm begging you, don't go into the fear mode. Yes, it's serious, like, no, I've got to start looking, I got to see what are the options there. Use that thought energy to move you, and you'll find that there'll be happiness and confidence that I don't have to worry about what's going on here. I'm going to be fine. This is going to work out even better than I even planned. So use those thoughts in that way. You've got to make it like an addiction, that your thought process will be fundamentally at a higher percentage of positivity and purity and peace. That's what we need to do to get out of this. And we don't know what it's going to be like for the rest of the month of May and April and May. May or June, you might hear stories of a lot of suffering. Please don't watch the news too much. Right now, we're suggesting not even an hour. I mean, I'm not even up to an hour anymore. I'm maybe 40 minutes max. It's 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, scrolling through Twitter, and that's it. Please don't feed into the mainstream media. I can assure you, you will get what you're supposed to get. And if anything is really a vast emergency, trust me, we will find out what that is. Get into positive media. Some of the steps that I want to offer you to keep yourself happy is watch positive media when you have the time or when it's space. Make it a disciplined thing. Don't just feel like you're bored and so you're just going to turn to it. If you're bored, clean up somewhere in the house, call a friend, put on your favorite music, but just don't binge watch things on television. We just launched a new TV network called See Good TV. If Marie Flory can just type that in, See Good, C is in the letter, goodtv.com. Sign up for that where you'll get this really beautiful list of positive, inspiring programs that was just really feel good for the soul. Then music. Sort out your papers. Get things in order. See Good TV. Is that, are you sure? You have to Google it. I think it's seegoodtv.com. But I'm not, maybe I'm wrong. But .tv.com?
No, com. Seagood.tv, that's it.
But when you search for it on the website. Okay, great. So Santosh is going to type that in for you and you should be able to look up for that. And then enjoy that. One of the things that I've asked some of the advanced students who are studying with us, get all your paperwork in order, whether it's your insurance, wills, trusteeships. Take this time to put all of those things in order just so that you have them. And your mind's not being pulled where you start to worry or have a problem that you don't know where something is. That will add to your happiness. Taking care of business. Your will is in place. Your insurance policy, your life insurance policy is in place. Your paperwork and stuff that you really need to have, important documents, mortgage, this. Put everything in just one place where it's taken care of. It'll add to your happiness. There's a lot of things that I'm sure you can do around the house that will add to your happiness. Music is a big part for me. But also something that I think Oscar had shared earlier, gratitude. Be very grateful for being alive. And witness in this particular time, when the whole world reveals to us that we're all in this together. And if for whatever moment, my friends, we get out of this lockdown and we go back to that self-serving mentality where we don't care about the other person, or we don't think that my thoughts or words or deeds have an impact on the rest of civilization, please remember the lockdown, that we were all in this together. It's a sign from above that basically wanted to knock us so hard in our heads that it says, I don't know why you guys were fighting, dividing. Why was there racism? Why is there gender inequality? Why is there hate? Why is there all of that? We're all in this together. What are we going to do to work it out? What would be your one wish that can glue us together and move us forward in a more positive way? So keep looking at these things. Something that I've been doing is if there's one person in my life that I have a recording didn't give me a lot of joy, or I can't receive joy, nor can I give joy to that person, from my mind, I just keep saying, from my mind, I love you. I know we're going to get along at some point. I know we'll be fine. And I do that from a deep place because that one person, if you have one person, 4, 10, 20 people that you've had a disagreement with and have severed your ties, have broken your ties with them, it's still not love. And if you can't receive that love or feel that love for that person, it's hitting away at your happiness. I hope you agree. So even for that one person or 5 or 10, from your mind, send them your good feelings and your pure wishes and tell them, I love you. I know we're going to work this through. I'm convinced. In whatever way, at least let me be able to have pure thoughts towards you. That's my promise to myself. So these simple steps will really help us to increase our happiness during this particular time. I have